And now, the general weather around Alaska.
We'll start off with the Hazardous weather graphic here showing winter storm warning out for portions of the north slope here down to Anatuvik Pass. That extends ways down the Dalton Highway there. Otherwise, along the coastline there, winter weather advisory out for snow and slippery conditions from the Arctic coast there, right in and along the highway there through the pass. Otherwise, to the west there, these yellow shaded areas here are all flood watches out that continue for tonight into tomorrow for the northern Bristol Bay, southwest interior, southern Seward Peninsula, eastern Norton Sound, and also up here along the southern slopes of the Brooks Range. And that's all for possible flooding to occur with all the moderate to heavy rainfall that's been moving in over the last couple of days. Over here along this portion of the Alaska Range, that's a wind advisory that's out for tonight into tomorrow for southeast winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour, possibly gusting as high as 60 miles per hour. Looking at the fire danger for grass, pretty high here, very high in the area over the southeastern part of the state, right on down into the Copper River Basin, and then along and on the lee side of the Alaska Range, where conditions have seen not much rainfall, as opposed to the areas back to the west and northwest here. And for the spruce, fire danger, not as bad as the grass here, but still some high to very high fire danger there along and just north of the eastern Alaska Range there, a little bit northward there and toward Chicken or so over the southeast interior, otherwise very low elsewhere. And satellite imagery here showing dry conditions under high pressure for the southeast coast and surges of moisture, another low center here coming in, pushing moderate to heavy rains into the Bristol Bay area on up into the Kuskokwim Delta, with areas of rain along a frontal boundary extending into the central interior and up off the eastern Arctic coast there. And that front extends southward here with some gusty winds and rain into the Alaska Peninsula, and drier conditions with less winds out over the Aleutians there, but still a lot of clouds here over the Bering Sea. Rolling that along again, you can see most of this cloudiness heading southward here with a trough of low pressure right through here, and the southwest flow in advance of that trough here, bringing surges of moisture into the interior here from farther to the south. Forecast for tonight, another low tracks up right along the southwest coast here. Gusty winds, rain heavy at times expected here, shifting slowly eastward, so look for some rain to spread into Kodiak Island, especially the western areas tonight, and increasing winds and rain over south central Alaska with some moisture here from the Gulf actually enhancing and shifting up over the Kenai Peninsula. So rain will develop over all of south central Alaska overnight tonight, already raining in some areas here, the Kenai Peninsula and in Prince William Sound. That'll continue to increase tonight. Otherwise, it stays dry for the eastern interior areas. Look for the rain and snow here with that winter weather advisory out for the eastern Arctic coast. Winter storm warning for the north slope in toward Anatuvik Pass along the Dalton Highway, mostly for slippery road conditions as opposed to any significant snowfall. Otherwise, back to the west here, showers and out toward the western Bering Sea with higher pressure there. High pressure over the southeast coast keeps it dry with light winds again, and moisture with this trough here. That's what's spreading the rainfall up farther to the east here, kind of detached from this area, but that'll link up here for tomorrow. And looking for rain and gusty southeast winds here for south central Alaska, with rain into Prince William Sound there, cutting off around Cordova. So from that area east and southeastward, dry with sunshine, temperatures into the 70s for the southeast coast. Mostly dry over the eastern part of the state. Still looking at some mixed precipitation here for the eastern Arctic coast into the north slope, but mostly rain here, or all rain, south of the mountains there. You can see rain all along this frontal boundary covering all of western Alaska, with the lighter winds behind the front and of course the stronger winds in advance of the front there. And then the showers scatter out and end toward the Alaska Peninsula, and north to south flow out here over the Bering Sea, carrying some showers southward from the Pribilof Islands into the eastern Aleutians. Some more moisture there over the northwest Bering Sea, but high pressure light winds here for the western Aleutians, as well as Adak and Atka, but more clouds and a chance of some shower activity around Atka Island. And then for Thursday, low pressure now up over the northwest interior. Warm front with that keeps a lot of precipitation into the Brooks Range, and some of that spilling into the north slope could be in the form of rain or snow. And gusty winds, a couple of wet days coming up here south central Alaska, staying wet for the Kuskokwim Valley back to the northwest, but drying out a little bit along the southwest coast as more showery conditions with a couple of weak troughs and westerly flow over the Bering Sea kind of make their way eastward, with another one pushing in toward the Bristol Bay area in Alaska Peninsula. And rain sliding a little farther to the east could reach Yakutat, some light rain possibly late in the afternoon, more likely Cordova, definitely in toward Valdez. And sunshine again for the southeast coast, highs in the 70s, continues dry here over the eastern interior areas. Out to the west, another pretty good storm system pushing in toward the western Aleutians brings gale force winds, possible gale force winds, definitely rain into that area. And then we'll see on Friday, that system makes a pretty good jog to the east here by Friday afternoon. Gale force winds and rain, Adak and Atka, with rainfall pushing in toward Unimak Island, spreading up toward the Pribilof Islands. May not make it there until evening, but definitely a lot of wind and rain coming into the southwest and south central Bering Sea during the day Friday with that system. This front gradually pushing eastward, now spreads an area of rain from the Gulf of Alaska northward now, finally over the eastern interior, Copper River Basin areas, all the way up to the Arctic coast, and now drier over the central and western part of the state. Some high pressure trying to ridge up, or at least weakly ridging up into the southwest interior there. So we could see some sun breaks in the Kuskokwim Valley back toward the Kuskokwim Delta, Yukon Delta area with scattered isolated showers, mainly over the mountainous terrain, especially for Bristol Bay, but nothing too significant. The main low center back here on the western Arctic coast. Look for breezier conditions with that, more steady rain for the Seward Peninsula up into Kotzebue Sound and the Noatak Valley areas, and sunshine for the southeast coast once again. Lows tonight, 30s, upper 20s, lower 30s for the North Slope Arctic coastal areas. Otherwise in the 40s and 50s here for the remainder of the state. Highs for tomorrow, mid to upper 60s here for the areas north of the Alaska Range to the Yukon Flats, and then upper 60s in the northern Panhandle to mid 70s down south there, and upper 50s, lower 60s here for southern Alaska, and in the 50s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Lows for Thursday morning. Again, upper 20s, lower 30s north of the Brooks Range there, 40s and 50s in the interior with 50s, mid to upper 50s for the central and southern southeast coast. And then the highs for Thursday afternoon, upper 60s, lower 70s, eastern interior areas here. And again, no change, 65 to 70 in the northern Panhandle with highs into the mid 70s for the southern southeast coast, 50s in the west.